everybody, and welcome back to Misfit Corner Scams. This is the Arsenault's Andrew speaking. It's Saturday night, and we are live streaming. Yay! How you doing, Roger?
Oh, fantastic. It was a slow day today.
Yeah, I got a couple of calls while I was at the store, but I was slammed. I was busy from start to finish and didn't take any.
Oh, that's good.
The only one call I took, it was just me and Ahmed, is a kid that comes in, helps me out every now and then. We're in the store together. There's nobody else there. I answer the phone. It is a home improvement scammer.
Oh.
And I go through the auto thing, and then I get the person on the line. And the guy asks me, he says, is there anything that you want to have redone in your house, your roof, or your windows? And says, actually, there is. There's a room that I wanted to have redone. It's kind of my sex dungeon. And I was wondering if you guys would be able to help me with that. And Ahmed's like, he's laughing his head, and then the guy hung up. I was
that's
like, damn.
Funny.
I used to
remember. I gotta ask next time when I get a home improvement scammer, and they, is this Tim the Toolman Taylor? They won't get it.
They won't. They probably.
I did have a real good one today. 2 for 1. I posted it already.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with the cancer lawsuit scammer.
Yeah.
That tells you if you got exposed or what. Okay. And then the car warranty scammer called on my other phone. So I just put them both on. And I'm trying to talk to both of them. I almost kept them both on. And finally, the both of them just hung up and realized that after going through the stupid questions, have you ever been a firefighter? I said, well, I put out a grease fire on my stove, but I don't think that counts as a firefighter.
I don't think it does. Oh, well. I did send an invite to Glenn. I'm sure if he's able to join, he will. Yep. Avery reached out to me earlier about an hour and a half ago or so, told me he wouldn't be able to make it tonight. So I was like, okay, not a problem. But let's see who else is here. What a segue. Was that not great or what?
Yeah.
All right. It's the Costanzas in the house. Says, I'm first. Wow, I'm special. You absolutely are, my friend. You are special. Sarah's here. Sarah says, hi, all. Happy Saturday night from cold and snowy Connecticut. Well, you can keep it. We got down in the yesterday, we got down in the mid-30s. And today we were like all day long was in the 50s, 50 to 60 range. So, yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
We got almost up to 70 here today.
Oh, nice. Oh, here's Glenn. Let's bring in the Betty. Today. Let's bring in the Betty. What's up, sir?
How's it going?
Not too bad. Not too bad. How are you?
Good. I was watching one of Rick's videos today, and when the guy told him to get a pencil and a pizza paper, I thought, pizza paper?
Pizza paper. That's good. That's good. Oh, jeez. All right, let's see who host is here. BB's in the house. BB says, hey to everybody. Boomer's here. Boomer says, Costanza is special. Hi, he says, hi, it's and Sarah and BB. Okay, saying hello to everybody. Let's see who else is here. BB says, supposed to get up to 40 here in Xenia tomorrow. Woohoo, hot weather. I'm glad BB's happy about that. Let's see who else is here. Let's see. Wayne's in the house. Wayne says, hi, all. I got the text from Amazon today. It was spelled AM at ZON. That's good. That's good. So I messed up and wasted their time. Very good. I got one time, a text, and I don't normally respond to the texts. I don't have time. I ignore them. Yeah. But it literally said, hello, Charper, my last name. But there were letters that were all wrong. And then it says, this is in regards to your order, and order was misspelled. It's like, they weren't even trying. They weren't even trying. It's just embarrassing.
The missus gets those like that. It's funny that it's all misspelled. And it's like, yeah, okay, you're a real legitimate company.
That's right.
I got 2 calls today about my car accident.
Yeah.
Were you involved in a car accident in the last 1 or 2 years? I said, yeah, I was involved in an accident last year. He says, well, what was the details of the accident? I said, well, I caused them.
He caused them.
They didn't want to talk to me anymore.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, let's see who else is here. Junior's in the house. Junior says, hello, everyone. Welcome. Smidgen's here. Welcome, Smidgen. Of course, Manuel is here. Says good evening, everybody. Hey, hey, hey. Let's see who else is in the house. Gonna run through. Robert's here. Robert says hi, y'all. Welcome, Robert. Let's see. Glenn's here. He says hey.
That's before I got the email.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was doing something offline, and I had my phone in airplane mode, so I kept checking my email. And there's nothing there. There's nothing there, and you're offline. Oops.
Oops. It happens. I did this recently. It was a few weeks ago. It's like noon, and I hadn't gotten a call yet. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I look at it was on Do Not Disturb. And I'm like, how the heck did I do that? Because I don't ever do that, because I must have at some point flipping through hit something, and that's like throwing money away right there, you know?
Well, I normally take the house phone off the hook before bed.
Right.
The other day I forgot 4:45 a.m. the house phone rang.
Oh, really?
And I just picked it up the phone. He goes, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm effed. I hope you go get effed too." And I just hung up. And then because I take it off, I get involved, make my coffee in the morning, get the dogs their medicine and their treats and whatever. I'm sitting down. Man, it's like 11 o'clock. Oh, man, I forgot to put the phone back on from like 8 o'clock in the morning to 11. I'm like, I missed all those calls that could have potentially been screwing with them.
Yeah.
Check your voicemail.
I used to work for a credit card company. One of my very first jobs for the credit card company was I worked in collections. And we worked on auto dialers that dialed numbers, and then when it would connect, it would transfer them to a person. The person would say, "Hey, hi, how you doing?" And calling about your bill, right? Well, there was one morning, my very first call. This is 8 o'clock in the morning. A guy answers, and I say, "Hey, how are you? I'm calling." And he says, "This is me." I said, "I'm calling about your." And he says, "Do you guys usually call at 5 o'clock in the morning?" And I was like, "I'm sorry." And I looked at his address. He lived in California.
Oops.
And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, sir, I'm so sorry." He says, "Well, it's all right. I'm up. I've been up. So luckily you didn't wake the wife up." And I'm like, holy crap.
No, you didn't wake me up. No, you didn't wake me up. I had to get up to answer the phone anyway.
Yeah. And I immediately, as soon as I just connected with the guy and got done with him, I was yelling at the guy at the control center. And they stopped all the calls. But yeah, they just did not have it. One of their presets was not on. So it wasn't calling the Eastern time zone. It was calling all time zones.
Oh.
You can get us into so much trouble doing that.
Yeah, I was working as a contractor for a government agency for a couple of years, a little while back. And they decided they were going to issue me a cell phone, a business cell phone, in case I needed to go in or do something to reset some server or something like that. Literally 15 minutes after the phone was activated, I got a scam phone call.
Oh, jeez. That's pretty impressive. Wow. Now, was this a brand new line?
A brand new line on a brand new phone. I took it out of the box. I started setting it up, got it set up. And the building I was in had no cell phone service except for one service, which they had a repeater on the roof, so we could get phone calls on our phones. I mean, it was just literally, I got it set up and the phone rings. And I picked it up and there's some guy scamming.
Wow. How much you want to bet that number was associated with somebody else at some point, and they just had it in their dialer system? They had it already preset.
Either that or they're just using a random auto dialer just to sequentially go through the numbers.
That's a possibility too. Yeah, and I know they use that because my number and my wife's cell phone is one digit off. Hers ends in 4, mine's ends in 5. I will literally hear her phone ringing and then hear my phone ringing from the same exact number.
So make a note of that so I can call and scam her once in a while, okay?
Well, what's funny, we have her call forwarding on. So if she doesn't answer it within the first 5 seconds, it automatically goes to my phone. So I get literally all the calls, and she doesn't. I'll come out and say, "Honey, there's a call for you. Here's your phone," and I'll hand her my phone all the time. But
I've got a landline that is right now the phone won't hold a charge, so it's a cordless phone. So I haven't used it in a while. But
Oh, you gotta get it working.
I have a TV service, and when I get a call on the landline, it shows up on the upper right-hand corner of my TV screen.
Yep.
And then my cell phone rings because it forwards it to my cell phone. So I can say, oh, here comes a call. I don't recognize that number. I pick it up and I know it's a scam before I even answer the phone.
That's funny. Yeah, my son had come over a few days ago and was helping my wife by introducing her to a video game that I guess they're making into a movie and they want to go see it. She's interested in seeing it. So, well, let me show you the video game. It's a Till Dawn or something like that. Well, he brought over his gaming system to play the game with her, and he unplugged some stuff, and he unplugged the house phone, and nobody knew it. It was almost 2 days before I realized, hey, the house phone's not on. It was a nice, quiet 2 days, too. But yeah, that kind of crap happens. I chewed him out when he came back over.
Go grab your remote in your hand and look at the bottom of it.
And what does it say?
Logitech.
There you go.
Well, the idiot the other day asked me, he goes, grab your remote for the TV. I said, you want the TV or the cable? No, the TV. I said, okay. What's it say on the bottom? I said, Samsung.
Yep.
And he's like, I said, well, she says, turn on the TV. I said, okay. Do you need me to change the channel? Because I got to use my other one to change the channel. And I tell him I've got Dish Network, which I've never had.
Right.
Tell him the TV remote says either Philco or Zenith.
Yeah, there you go.
So I had one on the other day that I asked. He asked me to get the remote, and he was like, and I'm like, do you just want me to tell you the name of my cable provider? Would that be easier? Would that make this call go by faster? He's like, no. It's like I know what you're trying to do, you dumb butt. Just let's play along, Let's keep it moving. That's when I told him I have Spectrum, of course, which didn't even know what Spectrum was until I started getting scam calls. So anyway, all right, let's check out and see who else is in the house. B Bernie B says hi, Drew, and SWS. This is before Glenn got in, of course. Let's see who else is here. Fred's here. Fred says, hey, how are you guys doing? I forgot you're on. Well, I appreciate you coming in and saying hi, Fred. Catherine's here, says, hello, peeps. Oh, wait a minute. BB says, Drew, you dirty dog. Uh-oh, what did I do? Was there something I did?
Your sex cave.
Oh, my. I totally forgot, I used to tell them I wanted a basement because I want my own personal bat cave, and they don't like that one either. But, yeah, sex dungeon. I need one of those. I need to have this conversation with my wife before I start having it with these third-party call centers.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I need to make sure it's okay with her. So
now, Glenn, in Colorado, do you guys have a lot of homes with basements there?
Oh yeah, it's pretty dry here. We're at 5,000 feet. We don't have where you dig a hole in the yard and it pops up with water like
well, that's us.
Does.
That's us. Yeah.
Well, it's pretty dry here in the desert, but there's very few and far between homes here with basements. It's unbelievable that it would be like that.
Well, I always thought my cousins who lived in Rhode Island, I always thought they had the coolest house because they had a full-size basement. Yeah. And it was like, this is awesome. And the parents kind of made it their room. That was the kids' room. They could do whatever they wanted down there. And I was always jealous. Todd, I'm jealous of his place. When you go to his house, you go to the first floor and you walk into the house, and then there's a second floor where the kids' rooms are upstairs. And then there's a stairs that goes down to a basement. You go down to the basement, and it's it's got several rooms. Whoever had started, they didn't finish all the rooms, but it's all these different rooms. There's room for a gym. There's room for like a bomb shelter. There's room for an office. His wife's office is downstairs. But then you go to the back of the basement, and it leads out to the front, into the backyard. So from the backyard, it's a 3-story house. From the front yard, it's a 2-story house. And I'm like, that is so freaking cool. But yeah, when you go on the first story, they have a deck that leads down to the yard where where the kids play and everything, but the basement leads out into the yard. So it's a weird type of basement, but it's considered a basement, but it opens up to the backyard.
Right, because it's like tri-level built on separate.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, this is a freaking awesome house. They got such a good deal too, because they were living in New York when COVID hit, and they came down to North Carolina because he has relatives that live there. And after they did all the lockdowns, they decided, let's stay here. And within a year, they had already bought a house. They had saved so much money over the rent they were paying in New York. They were able to buy a house. And I'm like, wow, freaking A. It's like, why didn't you do that years ago? And he's like, crazy ass New Yorkers. They love living there, you know?
If you remember, if you go onto Google and look up underground house in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah?
And it was built in the 70s.
Wait for him to tell us it's his house.
No, it's a complete self-contained underground home.
Holy crap, that's cool.
Years after that, they built another smaller home up above, which is like a 3,000 square foot home, 2-story and whatnot.
Right.
But there's an elevator that takes you into the lower home, which is like 10,000 square feet. It's amazing to see. And it had gone up for sale years ago and it never sold. And now I think they're asking like $2 million for it. And it is, I mean, they have pictures throughout the entire place when you look it up on Google. It's the coolest thing. You can stay there. And it's Underground House, Las Vegas.
Underground House, Las Vegas. Okay.
And it's crazy because you can stay down. They have an electric barbecue. It looks like you're standing outside in a patio. And the kitchen is ripped right out of the 70s.
Oh, wow.
That 70s look. Nothing was changed since it was built. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, we have a lot of older homes in Jacksonville. Like there's one area of town called Riverside, which is right off of the river, and it's a lot of old homes. And some of them are absolutely freaking gorgeous. The only problem is they have two major problems. When the houses were built, there was no such thing as parking. So people have to park on the side of the road, and it's really hard to get through that area. And the other big problem that they never thought of was drainage. And that area floods anytime it sprinkles. Riverside floods. So that's a huge issue in that area of town. But it's not something they ever prepared for, you know. And yeah, nobody back when those buildings were built, those homes were built. Nobody had cars. The cars weren't a regular thing. I mean, there's pictures of Jacksonville from when it was founded. You still see horse and buggies, you know? Jacksonville's like Chicago. We had a big fire one time and burnt down a lot of buildings, and then they rebuilt. But they didn't consider traffic. That was never a concern. And now a lot of those older areas are paying for it. So
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't plan very well, but...
Yeah, my wife told me once her dream house would have a wraparound porch, and we have actually found the house that she would consider her dream home. It's it's near the water, but it's completely different side of town. But we used to go by it like once a year because we had family that lived in the area, and we would go to their house like at Christmas time. And this house is just it's like a 2 or 3 story building. Wrap around porch. She just loves it. One of these days.
I just posted the link to the underground house in the comments on the channel, so everybody could kind of take a look at it.
Oh, it's in the regular comment section.
Yeah, regular comments. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was looking in the private chat saying.
No, I put it up so everybody could see it.
Oh, so everybody can see it. Okay, that works.
Yeah.
That works.
It's really cool.
Well, speaking of which, let me jump back in and see who else is here. Hitomi's here. Hey, Hitomi says, good morning, Drew and everyone. Welcome. Vicky and Benji, they snuck in, said, good evening, everyone. And Drew. Well, thank you. Ed's here. Hey, everybody say hi to Ed, please.
Hi, Ed. Nice to see you.
We don't want Ed to feel left out. Say hi to Ed. Oh, my gosh.
Ed.
I almost called him Mr. Ed. Just
He's
joking.
not a
Ed,
horse, of
just
course.
joking. No, he's not. He's not. Let's see who else is here. Let's see who. Tim's in the house. Tim says, "Good evening from Henderson, Kentucky." Welcome, Tim. Let's see who else is in here. Everybody else is saying hi to everybody else, and we're not gonna read every single one of those just because. But I appreciate everybody being nice and patient and talking to everybody else. Aaron's here. Aaron says hi to everyone. Hello, Aaron. Darlene says hi to Vicky. Oh wait, I already got Darlene before. Sorry. Let's see who else is here. Let's see. Did I get Robert already? Robert says, had a couple of new scams this week from guys in the Caribbean. Well, the Caribbean, that's mostly the lottery scammers come out of there.
Andrew Goldberg. And yesterday, 2 days ago, was David Goodman.
Yep. Robert says, first was a voicemail that told me that I had been given a grant from the Biden-Harris Foundation, and that I need to call back straight away before the present government takes it away. That's funny. That's very topical. That's a very topical sounding scam. All right, let me see if I say this correctly. Maria Paz, right, says hi. Welcome. Nikki's here. Nikki says, hi there, fighting heroes. Well, thank you. Oh, you know what, Roger?
Yeah.
We should be upset with each other. We're 22 minutes into this stream, and guess what we forgot to mention? Everybody, if you wouldn't mind, hit the like button.
I already did.
What's so funny is he and I were joking about how we need to remind each other to remember to say that. 22 minutes later.
I know.
Oh, we are bad. We are bad. Oh, let's see what else is going on here. T's here. T sends smiley face, or not smiley face, says waves to all. Welcome. Kim's here. Kim says, hi, Drew, Glenn, and Roger, and Mrs. the SWS. I know she's in the background. Everybody say hi.
Guess what she's doing?
She's knitting.
Well, she's far along on this one. She just finished the blanket for my daughter, so getting ready to ship that one off to her.
Maria Paz says, I won't be able to be at Mr. and Mrs. SWS Lives for a little while, so I'm glad I could be here. Well, thank you for stopping by. We do appreciate it.
I got a programming note this coming Friday the 28th. Will most likely not going to be doing a live stream. They kept postponing the Heart concert that we were supposed to go to last year, and it's rescheduled for next Friday. So I'm glad they rescheduled it. I mean, they're still really good after all these years.
Hey, you know what we should do? We should try doing a simulcast on our channels and Saturday night do a live stream, and where you broadcast on yours and I broadcast it on mine, and we just do what we normally do.
We could, you know what? I'd be willing to do that on Saturday. That
has a possibility ring to it, you know. It should be possible. There's a lot of applications. We were actually talking about this last night on Todd's channel, because I guess StreamYards, he pays for the version of StreamYards that you pay for, and they're jacking the price up. And he's like, well, crap, I need to find a different platform to use. And we were looking into different platforms, and a lot of them give you the option of multi-streaming, or multi-streaming on multiple, like YouTube and Twitch and whatever at the same time. But I think some also allow you to live stream on multiple accounts at the same time. We'll have to look into it. That'll be something we need to look into this week. Because the worst case scenario, we just both go live at the same time and both join each other's stream.
That's it.
We'll make it difficult. And then we'll have to fight over who gets Glenn.
Aww.
I don't know if you could join 2 live streams at one time. You might. We'll see.
I got 2 phones.
Well, there you go. That's how you do it. Robert says the second one was for Publisher Clearinghouse, and together with Donald Trump, I had been awarded $6.5 million, together with $10,000 in cash. Played with them for 47 minutes. Wonderful, Robert.
Wow.
Love wasting their time. That is such a good thing. Such a good thing. Catherine says, after I had my phone unlisted, they stopped calling for Kathy and started asking for Angela. Laugh out loud. I've been completely lost my identity. There's nothing better and more satisfying to get a call from a scammer and have them asking for one of your fake identities. It's wonderful. Hi, can I speak to Herschel or Carl or Timothy? And it's like, oh, that makes me feel so good to know they've finally gotten those names into their call list, call registry. You know,
I'm about Glenn's ready to go back to Betty. Because, when I answer the phone is Mo. Hello, how you doing? They usually don't stay on the line very long.
Oh, really?
So
they probably talked to a lot of Mo's then, you know?
Yeah.
Vicky and Benji says to Robert, I had a PCH scammer tell me that if I didn't claim my prize, Trump was going to take it. That's funny. That's funny. Sarah says...
Either him or Elon Musk.
Well, Sarah says, good screwing this week, SWS.
Thank you.
She enjoyed your videos this week. Robert says, till they wanted the green dot card, give the guy with the name Michael Hunt, but you can call me Mike.
That's it.
Yeah. Smidgen says to Robert and Vicky, that's proof that scammers are keeping up on their current events. Well, that's true. That's true. Well, it's so funny. So many of their scripts are the same old scripts that they've used for years and years and years. They rarely modify it, but some of them do, and that's a good thing. At least it shows they're trying.
But I'm waiting for him to ask me what my address is. I'm going to tell him it's 49 Arcadia Court, Albany, New York.
Yeah.
Very good. Albany.
Drew, I sent you a link. I just tried to start a StreamYard live stream on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you could, because I can't, it's not,
well,
I've only got a place to say record. I can't go live with it is the problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says record only.
Well, I'm clicking on it, entering the studio. Let me see if it actually allows me to. Well, I see you.
Yeah, we can go there.
Oh, the only problem is it echoes big time on my end.
Yeah, it echoes. And then I could only record it. Well, okay, I'll stop it.
Okay.
We should try. I guess if we buy the premium, you could do it.
Possibly. All right, well, let me leave. I'm going to leave. That was a good try.
Yeah. Well, we know that won't work.
Guys, we were just testing. What just happened is Roger started a separate live stream and allowed me to join, but he could only record. He couldn't broadcast because it's probably because StreamYards recognizes that you're on a broadcast already.
Yeah.
So it won't let you double dip. You'd have to use there's Streamlabs or another server. I wonder if you could do a live stream because YouTube does its own live streaming studio. I wonder if you could live stream from YouTube while being on a live stream on StreamYards separate. Because our YouTube accounts are not connected. So if you did one directly from YouTube, but I'm not sure, can you invite people onto that one?
No, that's the problem. I wanted to do that, and I tried to invite Glenn last week.
Right.
It wouldn't let me do an invite. There was no place to do it.
Well,
let me go back here.
That's so weird.
I gotta go to my home page.
We're trying to find a way to hack the system.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let me see who else is here.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Fred says, or a man cave. Honestly, I like the sex dungeon, but yeah. Let's see who else we got here. Robert says, till they wanted the green dot. Oh, I read that one already. Okay. Smidgen says, okay, I read that one too. Okay, sorry, I got to figure out where or I got lost. Boomer says, I just now got a call from an accident hotline. I tried to get them to talk for a long time, but they hung up. Maybe they heard you guys talking. It's a good possibility. Yeah. Well, what's so funny, I can almost guarantee that I don't get calls after 8 p.m. So usually by 8 p.m., my calls are wrapped up for the day. I have gotten 2 calls in the last week after 9 o'clock at night, but they were both just messages to call back at another time. So, which is really weird. I mean, it's shocking to see them calling so late, you know? Let's see. Cathra says, I've seen Before Dawn. It's a horror game. Yes. I guess there's a movie coming out, and the movie is not like the game, but my wife and my son, they like going to see horror movies. I'm not a big horror fan, so they go together. And he was like, Mom, if we're going to go see this movie, let me introduce you to the game. So they were actually playing the game together. Like he would get to a part where you had to make a choice, and he would ask her what she wanted to do, and she would yell it out, and he would do it. And it was interesting. But Tarkorf says, I had someone calling about 3 a.m. and the answering machine caught. So oriental sounding message happening multiple times. Really? 3 a.m. Christina's here, says, hello all. Welcome, Christina. Welcome to the show. Sig's here and says, all the world's a stage. We are tracked tracks. I don't know what that means, but okay, I'm with you. Let's see who else is here. If anybody else came in. Let's see. Darlene says, I tell them my TV provider is Pluto TV. Need a discount on the free app. Laugh out loud.
Yeah,
that's
there
funny.
You go. All right. Come in.
Manuel says, my friend, I hope you got my email address another day on Wednesday night. Yes, Manuel, I did get your email address, but I need your physical address to send that art to. So send me your address when you get a chance. Okay? You've got my email now, and I've got yours. So, all right, let's see what else we got here.
Just fold it up and put it in the floppy drive spot.
Oh, jeez. Let's see. Anybody else join?
This one. Go, Taffy. There.
Sig says, greatest thing that ever came out of Jacksonville, Florida was Leonard Skinner. Spent 2 years there. Know it well. Well, you know, we used to joke, the guys and I used to joke that the 3 things that came out of Jacksonville were Leonard Skinner, Limp Bizkit, and Lapdog Press. And Lapdog Press is what me and Avery and Todd called our group when we were in high school. We haven't used that in so long, but we all have our own thing now. But yeah, it was Leonard Skinner, Limp Bizkit, and Lapdog Press.
Now Glenn will know these names from my old hometown. One of them was called Berlin, the group Berlin. They did the title song, Take Your Breath Away, from Top Gun.
Yep.
I went to high school with the lead singer, Terry Nunn. She was in my class, and we got to see them perform at a local venue in our town, which was really cool. And one of the other bigger bands that came out of LA was The Doors, and Red Hot Chili Peppers. And they're just watch them. I mean, watching the Chili Peppers when they were, I'm talking 40 plus years ago. And here they are now, all in their 60s, just still rocking. It's amazing to see.
Yep, wow. They sure are.
Wait a minute. Then there's, what's his name? The Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger's, and it's pushing 80, and he's still out there doing it.
Still out there running around the stage, and crazy stuff. That's what good drugs will do for you, you know?
Preservatives.
That's right. Nikki says, I caught a couple of documentary videos that explained how scamming works. Just hang up 1, 2, 3, and W5 new fraudsters readily call victims for information. Okay.
That's cool. I'll have to look that up.
Let's see. Oh, Jonathan gave me another $10 treat for cat treats. Thank you, Jonathan. Trust me, they do greatly appreciate. my mother-in-law, was under the weather. So while she was sitting in her chair in the living room, which is where all the cats come to flock to her, where she gives them treats, she kept falling asleep. Well, the other day, she had fallen asleep in the chair, and my wife was like helping her get up. So it said, why don't you go lay down in bed? Go lay down in bed. So she did. And there were cat treats in the chair. So my wife started cleaning out the chair, because she'll put them on the handrails for the cats to come and eat. And of course, the cats will knock them into the chair. She filled up a jar like this deep with cat treats that she pulled out of the chair. It's like, oh my good God.
It's like when you pull your couch from the wall and you find, wow, look at this. I found $5 under here.
It's not as much fun as finding $50 in a book, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
$10 technically. Yeah, real ones. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it.
I went to see a movie one time, and this is when I was married. We go in the theater and we go down, like 5 or 6 rows back from the front, and there's nobody in front of us. Pulled up to the middle, sat down. I looked down on the floor, and there was like $50 in, 5s and 10s, and sitting on the floor in front of me. Apparently, the people who were in there the last movie fell out of their pocket, went down the chair and onto the floor, and there was nobody around, so we just took it home.
I actually found money. I was walking out of a Walmart, and there was a bill like caught in the wind right in front of me in the parking lot. I went and grabbed it. It was $100 bill.
Oh, wow.
There was nobody around at the time, and I'm like, who
Did anybody lose this?
When I was a kid and we lived on off-base housing, my dad was in the Navy, my friend and I found a wallet, and inside the wallet, we opened it up. There was no ID. There were some dollar bills, but there was a little pocket area that was just filled with quarters. It was stuffed full of quarters. Obviously, it's a kid's wallet. Who carries around quarters in their wallet? So we took it to my mom. Yeah, we took that. Could be true too, but there was no ID in it, so we assumed it was a kid. So my mom went out. She looked around, didn't find anybody. She took all the money out and handed me the wallet and said, "Here, you can keep the wallet." That was my first. That was my first official wallet. Was one that we had found, and I didn't get to keep a damn cent.
Well, one time I was heading on the way home. I was on my motorcycle, and I was about maybe a mile and a half from my house, coming up this main street in Aurora, and I pull up the stoplight, and I see on the other side of the stoplight there's a purse sitting on the road.
Oh, geez.
So I rolled up to it and reached down, picked up the purse, and figured, well, it's probably got a wallet in it. I'll get home and I'll call them, let them know I found their purse if it fell out of their car or something like that. So I got home, opened it up. Sure enough, there's a wallet in there. There's no money in it, and there's IDs in it and stuff. So I called the phone number that was on the checkbook that was in there, and they said, hello. And I said, hello. I said, I found a purse. You found a purse? Hold on a second. Next thing this guy gets on the phone and he says, this is Officer so-and-so of the Aurora Police Department. Who am I speaking to? And I gave him my name, and I said, well, I was on the way home on my motorcycle, and I found this purse in the middle of the road, and I thought maybe somebody lost it, and I was just calling. Well, where do you live? Well, I live at, gave him my address and stuff like that. We'll be right over there. And they came over, and I said, well, I found this purse in the middle of the road. There was no money or anything in it, just a wallet and a checkbook. They said, did you touch it a lot? And I said, well, just to pick it up and put it on a bike. And apparently some gal had been robbed, and they took her purse, took all the money out, and just threw the purse out on the road.
Right.
So
it was a guy in a motorcycle.
We're not accused of anything, but
Well, you'd think that the police could understand your situation, because if you were the person that actually stole the purse, you're not going to call the person to tell them you found a purse. It's going to be somebody who genuinely found the purse. Yeah. But they're, of course, going to treat you like you're the suspect, Like
Yeah,
you're
I
the
said, well, here,
perpetrator, you know?
I said, here's the purse. I just found it. I was in the middle of the road, and here's the intersection where I found it,
Yeah.
And they said, oh, okay. So they put the purse on a plastic bag and thanked me, and I never heard anything else about it. But, apparently I freaked these people out. I called them and said, did you lose a purse? Just a minute. And hands me to a police officer.
Wow.
Wow.
I bet you there was more to that story. Like
Yeah.
maybe somebody pulled a gun or something, or there, because if somebody steals your purse, I don't know if you need to call the police. You could report it to the police, but I don't know. Would they send a police officer out to meet you?
And one of the
There's got to
thoughts
be
was,
more to it,
yeah, one of the thoughts was maybe they got in their car and left their purse on top of the car and forgot about it. And they drove down the road, it fell off. And, I didn't know what it was, but, it had an ID in there with phone numbers and stuff. And I figured, yeah, it'll be nice. I'll call them and tell them, hey, I found your purse. Do you want it back? Like,
Well, it's funny. You think about this stuff. You find something and you're trying to do the right thing, and they turn it around on you, and that's pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I had that happen one time when we were living with my wife's grandmother when she was diagnosed with onset dementia. I was running an errand and my son called me and said, Dad, you need to come home. The police are here. And I'm like, oh crap. Okay. And I got there. Apparently grandma had gone for a walk and somebody reported it and the police picked her up and brought her home. And she was telling stories about how we were, doing stuff to her and so forth. And when I got there, two cops got in my face and they were like, do you have her ID and her checkbook? And I said, yes, I do. And they said, well, you need to return it to her. And I said, hold on a second. And I brought up the message that my mother-in-law, who is her power of attorney, had sent me because she just happened to be out of town. She says, if there's any issues, the copy of my power of attorney is here. And I let the guy read the message and I told him onset dementia. They immediately took her side, which, okay, fine. But they got in my face and said, do you have her ID? You need to give it back to her. And I said, whoa, hold on a second. Here's the full story. And once they heard the story and they saw the documentation that I had, they went to her and I said, ma'am, it's okay. They were trying to calm her down saying, he's got your ID. It's not lost. It's not stolen. Everything's good. And they convinced her to go back in the house. But eventually she had to be put in a home because we couldn't handle her anymore. But once you get the cops involved multiple times, she needs to go into a home. But
yeah, they always choose the wrong person to arrest.
Well, you know what I feel really bad about doing this, but at one point she told the cops how we were planning to smother her in her sleep. And I turned to my wife and I said, well, there goes that idea out the window. Because if it ever happens, they'll know exactly who did it.
Yeah, exactly.
But what's so funny, one of the very first incidents that we had with her, when she walked out of the house and walked down to the grocery store, which was like a mile away, this woman could walk. We ended up having to call the police. The police came out. She was so sweet to the police officer and all this stuff. And when we finally got her home, we went outside. We were talking to the police officer, and he was like, I've had this same exact situation with my dad. I know exactly what you're going through. He understood everything. He understood it completely. It was such a huge relief to be dealing with somebody who knew what we were going through, knew the troubles we were going through. And we talked for almost an hour, and he was like, yeah, there's not much you can do. You just have to keep an eye on her. You can't lock her in the house. You can't force her to stay there. But if this becomes a continuing problem, you got to put her in a home. And that wasn't up to us. It was up to my mother-in-law, who eventually did it. But yeah, he was like, and one of the very first things she would say is, they're stealing my money. Every dementia patient goes through that stage where they accuse everybody from stealing from them, trying to kill them, and it's like, this is not unusual.
I worked in a memory care facility.
Yeah.
And it's pretty grueling. I mean, it's really sad. I don't know if that was worse or the long-term acute care where when they come in, they're not going out except for on a gurney to go to the mortuary. So that was just as bad because they were there for months, a year, and you got to know the family and everything. That was tough.
Yeah.
But I think the dementia patients were harder because, they're trying to communicate with their family, and the family is just, they're getting frustrated.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
you
yeah.
as a worker there, you've got to be mindful of what they're going through. No matter if they're yelling at you and want to throw something at you, that's just what this disease does,
Yeah.
I
My
know.
mother-in-law figured out that there were very simple answers that she could understand and would accept and would just continue on. And one of them was, she would say, "Why am I here? Why am I in this home?" And she would say to her, "You asked me to bring you here because it's closer to my home, so I can visit you easier." And she was like, "Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense." That to her, that was fine. But she couldn't remember. She didn't know why she was there. And her daughter's answer was, "You asked me to bring you here." And in her mind, it was like, that's it. That's exactly right. That's exactly what I wanted. And she always thought it was frustrating. She would spend a half hour to an hour with her, and she would repeat the same question 15 times.
Yep.
And that's just the dementia. If anybody out there is dealing with anybody with dementia, an elderly relative with dementia, it is a horrible, difficult, and hard disease. And it happens. It is, I don't wish it on anybody. Not even my worst enemy would I wish it on anybody. So we lived with her for 8 months before she ended up having to go into a home. So there was a day that the cops were called 6 times.
Yeah.
So,
well, my uncle lives in a memory care facility down in Naples, Florida. And
okay.
My cousin visits quite a bit. And when she goes there, she does FaceTime or whatever she goes, he goes, "Who was that? That's your nephew, Roger." And they go, "No, it's not him." And it's really sad because he and I were really close when I was growing up. And It's sad. He's like 94 years old now, 93.
Oh, wow.
He's still kicking. And he's been on hospice care for the last 3 years. So he's hanging in there.
Yeah, I think Granny, when we moved in with her when she was 89, and I think she lived to 94.
Wow.
I think she was 94 when she passed. Very quietly and just relaxing in a chair, and that was it. It was all it took. But yeah.
Well, speaking about memory, I could not remember last night on my live stream. I wanted to suggest another channel that's really funny. And he screws with, he also does prank calls, which was pretty funny, some of them. But he also messed with the IRS tax, the McAfee, and all those other ones. And it's called Ownage Pranks. And this guy, Russell.
Pranks. Okay.
And Ownage Pranks. And on YouTube, he is hilarious. All the voice characterizations are his. No voice changers, nothing. It's very unique to see him do all these different characters. And no scripts, everything's unscripted, and he calls people. He wasted the IRS stuff, which I haven't heard for a while, but those tax scams were going around, and and it's sad because I looked at today, and the last time he posted was 2 years ago. So I'm just hoping the guy's okay.
Well, one of the things about channels is if as long as they're still alive, and not alive, but if the channel is kept open and active, people you can find people and find out, they haven't posted in years. So it happens. It's something really serious has happened to me if I stop posting a video a day, And what's so sad is on Thursday, I got the 2 calls, my Friday video and my Saturday video both came on Thursday. So I knocked both of those out. And then I did on Sunday, which, as you guys know, I do my weekend review where I take all my videos from the week before and put them into one long video for the people who asked for longer videos. So on Thursday night, I had already scheduled Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was good, which means I could have something could have happened to me and you guys wouldn't have known it till Monday.
Drew, I sent you a couple today, just short ones. I think one was like 2 minutes and one was like a minute.
I've got to make another screwing with screw and share video. I haven't done it in a while. So
Hello.
it's what happens is I'll get on a roll. Some of these calls will come and I'll get on a roll, and I won't need any like filler stuff. But I always have Betty for filler stuff. And we just set we just set our Missouri trip. That's the one where we go for a week. We leave on a Friday and we come back the following Sunday. We just set it for the week of August 2nd through the 9th. So I'll have to make sure I have videos for that week ahead of time, and I may have some Betty videos then.
Hi, baby.
Roger just has too much fun with those cats and dogs.
They're all over us.
They're all over. Yeah. Well, see, I told you guys that I keep my door shut to keep them all out. I had to kick Stranger out when I got in here.
You know what? I got to look this up because it's a Costanza. Wanted to ask the question of you, and he asked about the cats. I have to find that where he asked that question. It's because it was on my posting there. I said, because on one of my posts, I said, don't forget to come join us on Misfit Corner. Okay, here it is. Oh, he wants to know if your cat can stump a scammer.
Can my cat stump a scammer?
That's what it says.
My
it says,
cat.
I wonder if Drew's cat can stump a scammer.
My cat is like every other person in my family. They could care less about my scam calls and my scam videos. None of them watch my videos. None of them know what I do. None of them care. My mother is the only one who, when she gets a scam call, will tell them, call my son, please call my son. Everybody else is like, no, we don't care. You know?
Well,
cats have staff.
It's all right. It's only like a third of my life right now is making scam videos and scam calls, you know? Why would they care? So
well, these guys are at my side for almost every one of the videos, so
and they love getting on camera, don't they?
They do. Except for when I'm doing Holler and Hank.
Yeah.
They don't like him, or when I'm screaming the numbers when they ask me to, can you read it slow and loud? And I just go, oh, okay. 5.
Well, I had
go.
Yeah. I had a video recently in which Stranger came into my room, and she walked across my keyboard and she literally stuck her ass right there on camera, and it's like, well, she knows what gets the views. She knows what gets the clicks. So
when I get the weird email from you, I know it was the cat sending it.
I don't know. I went down some rabbit holes recently on Instagram, and there are literally people that do nothing but shake their butts and shake other things, and that's it. That's their entire channel.
Wow.
And I swear that's what my cat wants to do. My cat wants to be an Instagram influencer. And
they got 100,000 subscribers, right?
Oh, I didn't even look, but yeah, probably, or millions. Who knows? Yeah. I was talking to Avery about this, and we were talking about posting some of my shorts on like Instagram, you know, as another outlet for stuff. And I've told him before, I'm willing to do it. It just takes time to do all that crap, you know?
Yeah.
And I
got to pick the right shorts, though. Either Hanes or Fruit of the Loom.
You know, I had an idea, and I'm fairly certain somebody out there has done it. It's a channel.
Oh, look who's here.
An Instagram channel. Hello. An Instagram channel where it's all the current memes and popular threads, you know, all like, you know, like the girls that hold up their underwear and they shake it in front of the camera, and the next thing you see is a quick shot of them in their underwear, and it's just all those different things. But instead of having a hot chick doing it, it'd be a heavyset, nerdy white guy and doing all the memes.
Oh, that's
I think
funny.
it might get a lot of views. You never know. Yeah, I could do it. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just. Let me see who else is here. Sarah says, we had a mansion in our town that was owned by 50 Cent. Trump wanted to buy it, but our town would not allow him to have his helicopter land. Well, okay. Let's see what else is going on here. Jonathan said, I got the grandparent scam today. I don't have grandkids. Now, I've only gotten that call one time. I really would like them to call again because I really want to get more into it, you know?
Hello, Grandpa. I'm in jail. Good. Stay there, kid.
Stay there. That's right. Sean's here. Hey, Sean says, yay, I made it to a live one for once. Well, welcome. And that was about 20 so minutes ago. So we're really far behind. Yeah. Let's see who else is here. I'm just checking for new people. A lot of conversations going back and forth. But people talking back and forth to each other. So that's good.
Good.
Let's see if anybody else is here that I missed. Let's see. Anne-Marie's here, says, I was accused of breaking into my neighbor's apartment, whom I've never even been in her place ever. Oh, goodness. Well, says, luckily the apartment had cameras and the management knew me and knew that my neighbor isn't altogether there. That happens too.
Wow.
Sarah says, my mother has Alzheimer's and was in an Alzheimer facility a bit. It does happen. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, I don't know what this one is, but it says, oh yeah, I am now going through all that now with my mom, even though I am her EG and EPOE law in Australia is ridiculous, as she is doing exactly the same thing. Well, we've had family members, or I've known people who have had family members where if there's not somebody directly able to be of assistance, they'll end up doing, and law enforcement can't stop them. And I've known somebody who had an issue with an aunt who was by herself, and she had fallen for one of those romance scams and was just sending the guy money, and nobody was there to stop them. And there's not much that law enforcement can do, you know, if people are just going to give their money away. It's horrible, but
yeah,
that's one of the reasons why people ask me all the time, says, how do you get all these scam calls? And I can directly link it back to when we started living with my wife's grandmother, is because our telephone numbers got associated with her. Like if we would go see the doctor or something, we would give them our number so they knew it, because she had a cell phone, never, ever, ever used it. She had a home line where the home line was nothing but scam calls all day long. So we gave them our telephone numbers as a point of contact for her. And they just got associated with her, and we've gotten the calls ever since. My son lived with her when he started college originally, before she was diagnosed, and he gets the Medicare scam calls, and he's barely 30 because his number got associated with her as well. So, I mean, if you guys are out there and you really want to get scam calls, move in with an elderly relative and let your number be associated with them. That's how I did it. How crazy that is, but that's how it happened. So, oh, well, okay. I'm checking to see if anybody else is here. Anybody new? Nope. We're all caught up. Everybody's here. Cool. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. But anybody have any exciting plans for this week? You guys doing anything exciting?
No, there's nothing going. Well, there's no football to watch, so
no football.
Lots of doctor's appointments next week, she said.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Oh yeah, and then 2024 taxes too.
Oh geez, I forgot. I gotta set up the appointment with the accountant. Yeah. I have an accountant that handles my business and personal taxes. I make the appointment. I go in. A half hour later, we're done. I bring her. I know exactly what information she needs. She goes through it page by page. We get it done, and it's done. And I've never had an issue. And they are well worth the money I pay, and I appreciate it thoroughly. But having a business and having to deal with that stuff, it's a pain in the ass. But if you have the right people helping you,
yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I highly recommend if you have your own business, have an accountant. Just hands down, have an accountant, and usually get a referral from somebody who also has a business. That's how I got mine. Is one of our neighbors had their own tree service, and they recommended this group of accountants, and I've been with them ever since. So that's the way to do it.
My daughter works for QuickBooks, or not QuickBooks. I shouldn't say that. What the main company that owns them?
Intuit.
Okay.
Intuit. She works for
Okay.
Intuit. So
Excellent.
if I ever needed a business account, I would definitely use their service because it's really inexpensive and they handle everything. She goes, yeah, we collect the quarterly taxes, tell them where to put it. They got everything. And she goes,
Yep.
When they do the accounts, it's just hands off for the client. They don't have to do anything, and they handle it all from top to bottom. And I said, well, it's great for her. She works from home.
Yep. Well, what's actually funny is I think personal taxes have to be done or the initial date is like March 15th.
No.
Business taxes, April 15th. Yeah, business taxes have to be done a month prior. But my accountant, what they do is like around the first of the month, they go ahead and file extensions for everybody, just in case. So there was one year that I contacted him and says, I need to set up my appointment. He says, no problem. And I said, I'm worried that I'm not going to be on time. She says, don't worry, we already did your extension. We got you covered. We know everybody runs behind it. So we just do it automatically. So it's a wonderful thing. So.
And if you do file on time, it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea whether or not we're going to have to pay this year or not. I don't know.
You got to go through all the 1099s.
Well, I have one. Mine.
I know, me too. No, I have one for the consulting.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I did. I retired at the end of April. So I have my W-2s from my old job. Plus I have some other stuff we ended up doing. But it should be easy. And
hopefully.
The funny thing about the business is we end up taking a loss every year, pretty much. Yeah. And that I can claim that on my personal taxes because I'm the sole proprietor. So it helps out with our personal taxes in the fact that I take a business loss. I think you count, I think it's like 10% of a business loss can go towards your personal. So one of these days I'll be ranking in the money and then I'll get screwed on taxes. That's the dream. That's the American dream.
Yeah, I want to pay more.
That's right.
Last year I got a refund, even though I'm retired and I only live on Social Security. Colorado has what they call TABOR, Taxpayer Bill of Rights, and you pay money in, and if they don't use it all, they have to refund it back to you. And I got like $800 back last year, which was
nice. Well, that works. Well, I do the kids' taxes. I just do TurboTax, and they've both already gotten their returns back. And they got their money back, no problem. So, Dad must have done something right. Actually, it's easy. They both just have one W-2, and then it's really simple.
As of Friday, Colorado just started accepting state tax returns.
Oh, see, Florida doesn't have state tax returns.
Yeah, we don't have them either.
We don't have state tax, so we don't have to worry about that. So, Smidgen says, hubby got taxes done today, but was unhappy with TurboTax because they don't sell the CD anymore. All done, though, through their website only, and they charge separate for both federal and state.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to buy TurboTax. I got it at Sam's Club, and it's just a little folded paper thing, and you go through the register, and they give you the one that has the serial number on it, but the guy had to follow me to the exit to make sure I actually did the scan and pay and actually swiped it to say I paid it before he would hand me the package.
Oh, geez. Well, they got to make sure you pay for it, because there's too many people that probably just walk out with them,
Yeah. It's like $55. It's gone up. Probably $5-10 every year.
I think I paid. I did it online for my son, and I did it online for the girl, and I think it was $39. But we did that. I did the basic, simple. I didn't pay for any of the extra stuff because they never need it. You know, you get one W-2 and you're done. You know, easy stuff. All right, well, guys, thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate you hanging out with me. An hour on this channel goes by very, very quickly. You know, I wish. No, I was about to say I wish life was like that. Honestly, it is. It is exactly. Do you guys realize that this time next week it'll be March? We'll already be in March next week. That's how crazy fast this year's going by. So, all right, guys. Roger, once again, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it thoroughly. Glenn, Betty, Barney, and Mo, thank you once again. You know what? You were joking about the Three Stooges. Glenn's that all by himself. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
With the sleeping cat, of course.
I still got to use the name Jerome Howard for one of my fake names. And I'll just tell, well, that's Curly's real name.
Right.
We'll just tell him, Satan, just call me Kylie.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me do a quick screenshot so I have all three of us here smiling. There we go. Very good. I forgot. I took the screenshot last week and still haven't put up the title card for the last one. So. Oh, well.
Don't forget to like this.
Oh, yeah. Like it if you don't mind. You don't have to.
If you don't like it, don't.
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, nobody's forced you. Nobody's got to put your feet to the fire. At least not today.
The one thing they got to hit is that notification bell. Then they never miss any of the videos.
That's right. Yeah, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe and hit notification. Yeah. We do this every Saturday, but it's always nice to get a little gentle tugging, poking reminder.
Don't forget.
That's right. All right, thank you guys. Appreciate you joining. Cheers. And we'll catch y'all next week. Remember, if you get calls like the ones we get, either hang up on them or screw with them like I do, like we do. And if you do screw with them, try to record it and share it. Just like Glenn, Betty, Barney, and Mo do. Screw and share. All right, guys. Have a great one. We'll see you next time. And